Hello everyone, welcome back to TechnoChart's YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the harsh truth about capital required to start full-time trading. So if you are a person who is thinking of quitting the job and starting full-time trading, then you should definitely watch this entire video. Now let us understand the expenditure part and the total returns that we require to make a sustainable living for full-time here. So let's say that your monthly expenditure is 1 lakh rupees. So in this expenditure, you should definitely count your home loan, car loan, your children expenses, school fees, medical emergencies, insurance, and all the types of medical emergencies here, right? So this is the expenditure. This is the total monthly expenditure that you require. Now, amount required is the total amount required per year is the expenditure into 12 that is automatically calculated. Now, what we are trying to do is the total amount required per year, we are adding 10% of the total required amount per year as the emergency saving because we have to keep emergency savings as well. And every year we also want to increase our capital by 10% to beat the inflation here. So capital infusion is 10% here. Now we can assume 10% or 20%. You can change the formula and whatever you want to enter here, you can enter here. Now, total amount per year post tax would be amount required per year plus emergency saving plus capital infusion here. So it is 12 lakh per year plus 1 lakh 20,000 plus 1 lakh 20,000. Now we have assumed that your total monthly expenditure 1 lakh rupees. So we have assumed that your total monthly expenditure is 1 lakh rupees. Now total amount required per year would be around 14 lakh 40,000 rupees, and total amount per year pre-tax of 30%. So we are assuming that you are in a tax slab of 30% here. So you need to make 20 lakh rupees per year to make a net amount of 14 lakh 50,000 a year, 14 lakh 40,000, right? So this is the income, that is the pre-tax income that you have to make. Now returns per year, that is we are assuming a idealistic and a realistic return of 25%. If you are a seasoned profitable trader, then at least you would be at least making 25 to 30% per annum net after all the taxes and brokerages here. So this is the net returns that we are assuming here. Now let's say that you can even make 100% a year, 50% a year, depending upon your skill and depending upon your how long you have been trading, right? So some years it could be like you are just going to go break even, some years you are going to make 50-60% a year. So we are assuming that you are making 25 returns or 25% per annum here. So capital required would be, the total capital required would be 82 lakh 28 82 lakh 28,571 rupees. Why? Because the 82 lakh, 25% of 82 lakhs come at around 20 lakh rupees here, right? So and the total capital, that is the emergency fund for 2 years. So before you start thinking about trading full time here, you minimum you need to have a emergency fund for 2 years, and that is the your monthly expenditure of around 1 lakh rupees into 24 months, and that is 24 lakh rupees should be your emergency fund. That should be kept in an FD or in a safe asset here. It could be an FD, it could be a bond, or it could be bills, treasury bills, or etc. Right? So this is an emergency fund, and this should be the risk-free money that and you should never be investing this amount in any kind of in the markets here, right? And the other thing apart from this is you should also have an investment of around the emergency fund into two at least, and that is 48 lakh rupees. That is an optional before you start your full-time trading. But I would suggest the more the income streams you have, the lesser the pressure you will have once you start your trading journey as a full-time trading career. Right now, let us change the expenditure and the returns per annum so as to understand how it affects our total capital required. So here we see the total funding required is around 1 crore 1 crore 6 lakh rupees, right? So this is the total fund required, that is the capital required plus as well as the emergency fund before you start your trading full time here. Now let's say, as the majority I had recently taken a poll in my Telegram channel where I talked to people and understood what is their monthly expense here. So 49% people checked on 20 to 40,000 per month. 24% have checked on 40 to 70,000 per month here. Now this monthly expense could differ from person to person. If he has a home and a car already, then his monthly expenditure would drastically come down. If he doesn't have a home and a car, then his monthly expenditure would be increasing highly, right? So let us assume that your monthly expenditure is 50,000 rupees here, an average of 20 to 70,000, and that is 50,000 here. Total amount required per year would be 60,000. Emergency fund would be 6 lakh, and emergency fund would be 60K. Capital infusion would be 60K. Total amount per year post tax is 7 lakh 20,000. So here in this case, if you reduce your expenditure and increase your returns here, let's say you are making 40% a year, then look at how the trading capital required comes down drastically here. So trading capital would come down to 25 lakh rupees if you make if your expenditure is only 50,000 a year, and if you are making 40% a year, let's say. Now if your expenditure is 50,000 per year, but you're only making 10% a year. Okay, so then you see how your capital requirement would increase drastically, and that is how you need to increase your returns. You have to keep average idealistic returns of at least 25 to 30% per annum after taxes, and your this is how your capital requirement changes as you change the returns per year and the expenditure. So I'm going to share the link of this Excel sheet in the description below. What you can do is you can click on the file button, file here. Once you click on file, you can click on make a copy here. So as soon as you click on that, you can make a copy of this sheet and start changing and making combinations of how you want to understand. So note, you can change the returns per year and the expenditure part depending upon your expenses. Returns considered here are simple interest and not compounded interest, and the long term investment is considered as the 2x of your emergency fund, and it is optional here. So you can change the percentage here. Capital infusion is 10%. You can change to by going into the formula sheet and changing from 0.1 to, let's say, 0.2 or 20%, 30%. And you can also add one more column if you want to add uh, let's say one more yearly savings column where you take out yearly savings for additional expenses here, right? So this is how you can use this sheet to understand what capital you require to start full-time trading. And things you need to understand before full-time trading are basically the capital requirement, as well as the psychology takes a very important role when you start trading full-time. You always have to keep an emergency fund of more than 2 to 3 years, so that even if you do not make any kind of money in the markets, you still have the expenses are still there, and you have that money to cover up your expenses here. I hope you like the video. Do share it with your friends who are thinking that the markets are really easy, and you definitely cannot start full-time trading with 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees capital. You cannot do option buying to make a living only. You always have to diversify into long-term investment, swing trading, options trading, that option selling for making consistent income. And it also depends upon your own expertise as well as your own experience, and it is subject to change here. Do let me know in the comment section below if you are thinking to start full-time trading or what you are thinking, and I hope you like the video. Do share it with your friends.